we are going to read, I think this is the 5th installment of Hurricane and Tornado. Encounter nature's most extreme weather phenomena, from turbulent twisters to fierce tropical cyclones. We're nearing the end, hopefully finishing it in this video. Beyond Earth, the sun is a star orbited by 8 planets and their moons. The sun's radiation causes weather on Earth by heating the atmosphere. Mercury and many moons have no atmosphere, and so no wind, rain, or snow. Venus and Mars do have atmospheres. Some of their weather is similar to Earth's. The gases of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune swirl around as the planets spin, forming spiral storms similar to hurricanes. Farther from the sun, dwarf planets are far too cold for an atmosphere to form. Blue Neptune. Hey, you're not looking at what I'm reading. You're just being ridiculous with the camera. Come on, man. Blue Neptune. Look at how pretty that is. Beautiful blue. Neptune's 1,500 mile per hour, 2,500 kph winds are the strongest in the solar system. Methane gas in its atmosphere cools and freezes as it rises, forming white cloud bands above. Dust storm. Mars is covered in dust that contains iron oxide, a compound in rust, giving the planet its reddish color. The atmosphere on Mars is much thinner than on Earth, but Mars still has fierce winds that cause dust storms. Venusian volcanoes. Venus's surface has volcanoes similar to Earth's. Most are inactive, but when they do erupt, they spit gases into the atmosphere that play a part in the planet's weather. The sky on Mars is pink during the day. The sun is more than 100 times larger than the Earth. Running rings. Saturn, like all the gas giants, is nearly all atmosphere, and it becomes more dense the closer to the center you go. The planet is warmed by the sun, but in some places the outer atmosphere is still a chilly -310 degrees Fahrenheit or -190 degrees Celsius. And how do they know that the atmosphere is thicker the further in you go? Have they been there?
Probably.
Probably not. I don't know. I would like to just make up things too. But I don't know. Maybe they sent a probe in or something. We'll start tracking it here. Scorching storm. The sun is a ball of extremely hot gas, increasing in heat as you head to the core. The surface is turbulent, huge storms. Prominences caused by the sun's magnetic field throw millions of tons of hot gas into space. Storm prominences erupts on the sun. That's interesting. I haven't heard it called that before. I've heard solar flares before. I don't know. Interesting. Spinning spots. Jupiter takes less than 10 hours to make one rotation. This causes the planet's atmosphere to swirl and the great red spot above. Think. This spot is twice the size of Earth. It is a storm similar to a hurricane that has been raging for at least 330 years. Molten Venus. Venus is the hottest planet, surrounded in thick clouds of sulfuric acid. The atmospheric pressure at its surface is 90 times higher than that on Earth. Sulfuric cloud bands, the whiteness, ultraviolet image of the sun. So you can put different filters on that. Like, remember that show that I watch, and they have the sun, and you can add different filters on the program to actually see different things? Yeah, that's what they did. Charged up. Lightning on Earth is caused by updrafts of air in huge thunderclouds. Other planets have lightning too. Jupiter has... Oopsies.
Time was messing it up.
Oopsies. I guess we're just going to have that very interesting place right there in that video. Oh, well. Am I still in the picture? I don't know. Okay, we were talking about this charged up. Other planets have lightning too. Jupiter has energetic lightning storms at its magnetic poles, which are partly caused by the planet's strong magnetic field. I see Europa? I don't know how to say that. Europa? One of Jupiter's moons, Europa, has a thin atmosphere made up of largely...
Europa.
You've heard it before?
No. Europa.
Okay.
It's in the song.
Made up largely of oxygen. This rocky ball is coated in smooth water ice. Some space scientists think liquid water might be beneath the ice, which means life could exist in Europa's seas. This is a superbolt lightning storm. Europa's icy surface is here. All right. Did you know these are called amazing facts? Greenlanders have about 50 words for all their snow, such as Nittalak, air thick with snow. There are more than 8 million flashes of lightning every day. I used to know how to say this one. Cumulonimbus clouds can be 7 miles tall. So,
I don't know, but that's
or 11 kilometers tall. The air rises quickly through the tall clouds. These are cumulonimbus.
cumulus.
I know, the short version. Cumulus clouds. That's what we always said, cumulus clouds. 24 inches or 60 centimeters of dry snow takes up the same space as 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of rain. Wow. So 24 inches is 2 feet. 2 feet. And it's really only 1 inch of rain. Wow. Interesting. On August 14th, 1979, a rainbow was visible in North Wales for 3 hours. That's a long time. Thunder can be heard 6 miles or 10 kilometers away from a storm, but lightning can be seen 60 miles or 100 kilometers away. A temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius can feel like negative 14 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 10 degrees Celsius if there is a 45 mile per hour or 27 kph wind blowing. This is known as the wind chill factor. So that's when it feels colder outside than when it actually is. In storms, objects and animals can be picked up and dropped down again some distance away. Yeah. More than 100 tornadoes have hit Oklahoma. We're in this book. We're in this book. More than 100 tornadoes have hit Oklahoma City, more than any other city. Texas has more tornadoes a year, 125, than any other U.S. state. So our city has had a lot of tornadoes. Now, we haven't had a lot of tornadoes lately. It's very interesting that the weather patterns have shifted north and west. No, east. North and east of Oklahoma to where there's more tornadoes and stuff elsewhere. Okay, where are we at? Male hurricanes have caused 4 times more damage than female ones. I didn't know they were male and female.
What?
Male hurricanes have caused 4 times more damage than female ones since 1979, when male and female names started being used. How about we just name them all female names, and then they'll decrease in power? Do you think that'll work? No? Okay, fine. All right, Cheyenne, Wyoming. We've been there, is the U.S. hail capital. A storm in August 1985, I was born August 1985, left 6 feet or 1.8 meters high hail drifts. Wow. 6 feet is taller than mommy. 6 feet is taller than daddy. Hail drifts. So the drifts are where the wind blew them into a certain area and they drifted, it built up like snow drifts. So this is a hail drift in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Permanent snow and ice cover about 12% of Earth's land. A lightning flash moves from the ground to the cloud at 23,000 miles seconds or 37 km seconds. A lightning flash moves from the ground to the cloud at 23,000 mile seconds. That's super duper fast. Mile seconds.
Oh, okay.
That's insanely fast. Yeah. Hail falls on Kenya 132 days a year.
Daddy's been to Kenya.
Yep, more than on any other place on Earth. 132 days a year they get hail. That's a lot. There's 365 days in 1 year. It's 132 days a year with hail. Whew. Park ranger Roy Sullivan suffered 7 lightning strikes in 41 years. His hair was set on fire. He had chest injuries and he was knocked out. On July 7th, 1841, hundreds of small fish and frogs fell from rain and hail on Derby Island, or England. Okay, a tornado funnel sweeps across the ground. Here's just a tornado. Lightning can travel more than 6 miles or 10 kilometers, so you can suffer a strike even if there is not a storm overhead. Did you hear that? Lightning can travel more than 6 miles. Okay? Dramatic high tides result from high winds offshore and low atmospheric pressure. A 1 millibar fall in pressure causes the ocean to rise by ½ inch or 1 centimeter. A deep depression can cause a 28-inch rise. So over a 2-foot rise in the water. A thunderstorm can drop up to 110 million gallons, 500 million liters of rain. Do you want to do the question and answers?
Yeah.
What are the doldrums? The aurora borealis is beautiful. Okay, the doldrums are a windless area of rising hot air around the equator. The rising air forms cumulonimbus clouds that produce thunderstorms and water spouts. What causes the lights known as auroras? A solar wind is a stream of particles flowing from the sun's polar regions. The Earth's magnetic shield protects us from this wind, but at the poles, the particles create light displays as they collide with molecules in the upper atmosphere. Near the North Pole, the lights are known as the aurora borealis. Near the South Pole, the aurora australis. What is the blanket effect? At night, clouds reduce the heat that leaves Earth, keeping Earth warm. This is the blanket effect. What can happen where oceans meet? The answer, where oceans meet, such as off the tips of South America and South Africa, storms create huge waves. At Cape Horn, they can be 65 feet tall or 20 meters.
Is that taller than you?
65 feet. I'm not even 6 feet. This is like 60 feet taller than me because I'm 5'1". This is really, really tall waves. There was a hurricane the other day and its waves were like 19 feet high. And then there was like a little storm like southwest of that I don't think was a hurricane and they were like 29 feet high. It was really odd. Record breakers. In April 2011, the worst tornado outbreak in the world saw 358 tornadoes hit 21 U.S. states in 4 days. Thousands were injured and 348 died. April 2011, that was just before Izzy was born. The lowest recorded temperature in the world is negative 129 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 89.2 degrees Celsius. Taken at Vostok, Antarctica on July 21st, 1983. The wettest place on Earth with an annual rainfall of 472 inches. That's 12,000 millimeters.
I need the red clap.
They use millimeters so it would sound more. Is Mizoram, Meghalaya State, India. I'm sorry, I butchered that. The wettest day in the world was was at FOC La de Reunion, Indian Ocean. Sorry, I can't read those things. Where 71 inches or 1,825 millimeters of rain fell in 24 hours. 71 inches of rain. Wow. That's feet, honey. 71 inches. There's 12 inches in 1 foot. 71 inches is feet of rain. Feet. The windiest place in the world is Port Martin, Antarctica, where winds can average more than 40 miles per hour or 64 kph on at least 100 days each year. The greatest snowball recorded in one day. Snowfall, not snowball. Snowballs are fun to make, though.
Yeah.
The greatest snowfall recorded in one day was at Silver Lake, Colorado on April 14th, 1921, with a fall of 6 feet 3 inches. Wowzers, guys.
What?
6 feet 3 inches deep of snow. You would be snowed into your house. You wouldn't be able to leave. Yeah. Ice crystals in a snowflake. A surfer enjoys South Africa's big waves. Fork lightning. Oh, that's interesting. I know so many new things today. Fork lightning. So neat. Timeline. Oh boy. Not eyeballs. Okay, timeline. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and other extreme weather have caused terrible suffering over the years. This timeline charts some of the worst events over the past 5 centuries. Although we are now more knowledgeable about these causes of extreme weather and can better predict it, we cannot avoid the terrible destruction it brings. A ship from the Spanish Armada. Can you imagine sailing across the ocean in this? Oh my goodness. All right. 1945, a hurricane strikes Christopher Columbus near Hispaniola. In 1559, a hurricane sinks almost all 74 Spanish ships heading to retake Florida. Wow, 74 ships down. Man. 1588, a violent maverick. Be kind to your sister. I'm almost done with this book. Oh boy, we've got 1 page left. I need y'all to chill. In 1588, a violent May storm in the Bay of Biscay scatters the Spanish Armada ships on their way to invade England. The ships set off again in July. Took them 2 months to repair their ships, guys. In 1635, the Great Colonial Hurricane hits New England in August, causing a 20-foot tide in Boston, which destroys thousands of trees and homes. 20 feet. Remember, I showed you videos of the water rushing into the flood? There was a flood. Where was that at? In Greece or France or something this last couple of weeks ago. I don't know. Oh, it was terrible. Okay, so this was 20 feet. That was higher than what they had. In 1697, lightning strikes an Irish castle, setting fire to its gunpowder store and causing the castle to explode. Wow, and it takes a long time to build a castle. In 1780, the Great Hurricane kills 22,000 people, more than any other in the Caribbean, and destroys British and French fleets of, army fleets. In 1843, a brutal hailstorm destroys crops and greenhouses in Norfolk, England. 1876 to 1879, a prolonged severe drought in northern China kills between 9 and 13 million people. It's a lot of people. 1887, the Yellow River floods 10,000 square miles in China. 900,000 or 2.5 million people died. The Yellow River floods in China, man. 1888, a hailstorm of baseball-sized hailstones strikes Moradabad, northern India, killing 246 people. In 1900, in September, it says 8-15 feet. Or 8 to 15 feet. Storm tides inundate Galveston Island, Texas, killing 6,000 people. I wonder if that's a storm surge rushes ashore. So Galveston is where we went for Chris and Lisa's wedding. Mm-hmm. Galveston Island is where we went. So a storm came in. The tides rose so high and quickly, I guess, that they killed 6,000 people. It's a lot of people. In 1925, the tri-state tornado causes an estimated 695 deaths in Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It's before we had the storm siren system, I bet. because this is 1925. I'll have to look that up. Flooding on the plains in India. It's a lot of flooding. 1928, the San Felipe hurricane kills 3,411 in the Caribbean and Florida. It's a lot of people. 1930s, in the North American Midwest, a drought turns farmland into a dust bowl. Oklahoma was in that dust bowl. Not Mimi.
Mimi's mom.
Not Mimi, but Meemaw, my dad's mom, was born in 1919 and lived here in Edmond, Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl. Oh, horrible time. 1930s. They didn't know how to do regenerative agriculture, which is what we're doing here. Keeping the soil healthy and keeping it from flying away or washing away. 1930, a September hurricane kills thousands in the Dominican Republic and destroys its capital, Santo Domingo. In 1931, the Yangtze River floods in China, ruining crops. About 3.7 million people perish in the floods and famine. Gosh, China gets hit a lot. In 1953, a January storm surge of 8 feet in Essex, England, kills 300. A 13-foot... Izzy, just go away. Go away from him. Okay, go away from him. England kills 300. A 13-foot surge in Holland kills 1,800. 1959, a hailstorm hits Selden, Kansas on June 3rd, burying an area 9 miles by 6 miles in hailstones to a depth of 18 inches of hailstones. Oh my goodness. In 1962, a massive avalanche and mudslide in Peru kills about 4,000 people. 1963, Hurricane Flora kills more than 7,000 in Haiti and Cuba. In 1970, a storm surge floods the Ganges Delta, killing more than 400,000. In 1971, Hurricane Ginger wanders the North Atlantic, the Bermuda Triangle, and the coasts of North Carolina and Virginia for a record 31 days. Wow. 1974, on Christmas Day, Cyclone Tracy strikes Darwin, Australia, killing 50. 1974, Hurricane Fifi kills 10,000 in Honduras and destroys 80% of the banana crop. Bananas. 1977. It killed 10,000 people, though, guys. That was a lot. In 1977, a tropical cyclone and storm surge strike Andhra Pradesh, India. I cannot say India names well at all. Killing 20,000 and making 2 million homeless. In 1979, the 1,380-mile wide super typhoon Tip is the largest recorded. In 1980, a heat wave in the U.S. starts forest fires. 1,000 people perish. 1982, monsoon floods in Orissa, India kill 1,000 and make more than 5 million homeless. In 1984, a summer hailstorm bombards Munich, Germany, with giant hailstones causing 1 billion worth of damage. 1985, whoop, whoop, that's the year I was born. 1 million people are evacuated due to Hurricane Elena's erratic path across the Gulf of Mexico. In 1988, monsoon rains flood 3/4 of Bangladesh, killing 2,000 and making 30 million homeless. 1992, Hurricane Andrew strikes the Bahamas, Florida, and Louisiana, killing 65, destroying 25,000 homes, and causing damages of 20 billion. 1996, a tornado takes just 30 minutes to destroy 80 villages in Bangladesh, killing more than 440 people and injuring more than 32,000. 1997, lightning kills 19 people in Andhra Pradesh, India, on September 11th. 1998, in May, a black tide of mud sweeps into Salerno, Italy, killing 130. 2,000 are made homeless. 1998, at least 2,500 people perish in an Indian heat wave in May and June. In 1998, the Yangtze River, China floods, killing 3,500. That flooded before and killed a lot of people.
Where?
the China River that. Trying to figure it out. The Yellow River in China, the drought. I don't remember. There it is. The river. About 3.7 million people perish in the flood and famine. Okay, so from 1931 until this happened again in 1998, only 3,500 people died. What's a drastic difference? Okay,
Wait,
cool.
how many years?
That's a lot. 1931 until 1998.
Yeah, but how many years did it take for it to go all over again? And we know
It's a good question.
Not to go there.
No, not to go there. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. In 1998, at least 2,500 die in July when a tsunami strikes Papua New Guinea. In 1998, 2-month floods along the Nile River in Sudan make around 200,000 homeless. In 1998, Hurricane Mitch strikes Central America in October. More than 11,000 die and 1.5 million are made homeless. 1999 floods and mudslides in December killed 10,000 in Venezuela. In 2000, torrential February rains in Mozambique caused the worst floods for 50 years. On February 22nd, Cyclone Elaine hits, making it even worse. 2003, Europe has the hottest summer for nearly 500 years. More than 20,000 deaths are blamed on the heat wave. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated the Bahamas, Florida, and New Orleans. Property damage totaled $81 billion, making it the most costly hurricane ever. It doesn't say how many people died, but I worked at Mercy Hospital whenever that was happening, and they brought people from New Orleans to Oklahoma because of the flooding. It was so... They had to remove so many people from that area. They went to Texas and they got overloaded with patients and people in Texas. They sent them up here to Oklahoma too. They were just dispersed all over the place, and it was really sad. We had a lot of patients that were nursing home patients that had been left in the water as it rose because they couldn't get them out. They didn't have enough transportation to remove them. So it was a really, really sad situation, especially for 2005. In 2013, Typhoon Haiyan crosses into the Philippines, causing mass flooding and landslides. About 13 million people are affected, and at least 1 million houses are either totally destroyed or damaged. All right, that was the end of this very long informational book. Thank you for listening. I think this was part 5, possibly part 6 of this book.
Pretty sure
You'll know in the title.